Welcome back, everybody, to part 2 of this carburetor rebuild. I'm going to let Lucas attempt to put this thing together by himself. I'll be here to give him any guidance he needs, so we'll see how far he gets on his own. Lucas, go ahead and take it away, buddy. Right now, what he's doing is putting the needle valve that's below the squirter nozzle. He's putting that back in place. You got both gaskets on it? One on the bottom?
Yep.
You don't gotta kill it. Just snug is good. Let's see. Back it off. See these nozzles? You got them in backwards. They had to squirt out. Had to squirt into the back. See that little notch? There's a notch in that body right there. If you see it lines up where that gasket goes to.
And then it went to the clamp.
Of course it did. Okay, we found that gasket and fell underneath the workbench. So we're gonna go ahead and slap this in there. Okay, now he's got the secondary metering plate installed with the gasket. So there's that. Let's see, you gotta kill it. Okay, he's got the right here, he just installed the float into the secondary fuel bowl. Come on, camera, focus. Oh, it's not gonna focus. There's 2 flathead screws in the back. Okay, now he's going to install the sight plugs on each fuel well. You can turn it on the side. Okay, now he's installing the plunger for the accelerator pump. Should just pop into place. If not, you might have to help it from the backside. Let me see. Don't want to tear it. There we go. You see that little plunger just So the bowls are finished beside the needle and seat, so we can set them over to the side. Next is going to assemble the primary metering block. Use this big one. Be better, so you're going to turn this up. Okay, next on the power valve. The kit we got came with a 4.5 power valve, which is most of the time those kits come with a 6.5 or a 7.5. So I had a couple extra power valves laying around. It's an 8.5. I'm pretty sure his truck's got a pretty high vacuum signal, so we're gonna try this 8.5 out and see how it does. When installing these power valves, little trick I like to do is to keep the gasket centered. Just turn it upside down. Oops, I'm not even in the camera frame. Just turn the metering block upside down with the power valve and the gasket already on it. That way your gasket stays centered until you get it snugged up. See, I don't know if you can tell right here or not, but the gasket is evenly spaced all the way around. So that's a 1-inch wrench. If you didn't know size, you could use a pair of channel locks. Just be careful. Alright, next I just need to put the idle mixer screws in. And that primary metering block right there. Still need that block. And these you gotta be careful because these are cork gasket. Let's see, there should be a. Yeah, so it's kind of got like little grooves in there. Like push them into place first, and then very gently run those screws in. And when you feel it tightening up, don't torque it down. Just once it gets to the bottom, that's good. Hand it to me and I'll put it to where it should need to be at. It's tight.
It's not tight, but it's at the bottom.
There's. Do that one. On these auto mixer screws, the most common setting you'll hear people talk about is to bottom the screw out. Don't over tighten it, just bottom it out and then back it off 1.5 turns. That should get you in the ballpark to at least get your engine started. So we got those set at 1.5 turns out. He's got the main jets in, power valves in. All the passages have been blown out, so what's next, buddy?
I guess we can put them on here.
You want to put the accelerator pump on? On that main float bowl?
Yeah.
Get the new diaphragm over there. You know, missing something, ain't you? Spring.
Oh. Like that, or?
Yep, just like that. These kits pretty much come with everything you need. You'll even have a lot of gaskets left over because they're made for several different styles of carburetors. But while we're at it, we'll go ahead and replace these fuel inlet fitting gaskets. These come with the nylon ones, so they seal up a little bit better than the old ones. It's a little bit easier to get to them while they're off than to wait and try to do it while it's on the carburetor. On this needle and seat assembly, you'll notice that it's got a rectangle shape to it. So there's an adjustment screw. So what you'll do is set that on top of there like that. Then you'll have your small gasket go on top. Put your lockdown screw. You can thread that in. And then you have the bigger gasket go on the bottom. And then this whole assembly screws into the float bowl. Now the way I've always set my fuel height, on these things is I'll turn the bowl upside down and I'll run it in until the float looks about halfway to be centered in the bowl. You see this, watch this when I turn it. This is upside down now, but I'll explain it to you later. See, as I'm adjusting it, it's raising that float up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're back. We had a little issue with the lockdown screw on this needle and seat adjustment. It was a little cross-threaded, so I had to take the file and straighten it out a little bit. Alright, Lucas, take it away, man. You could turn it up on its side, be that way sit flat. I already got the gaskets on those for you already. Best thing to do is start them by hand so you can feel them going in. You might need to wiggle it a little bit or something. With the wiggle it to get it to the block. Wiggle the bowl if you got to. Okay, now he's got the two float bowls on there, so I'm going to steal this vacuum pod off of this parts carburetor. The kit does come with a new diaphragm, but I put one in this thing. That carburetor was rebuilt not too long ago, so I'm just going to use the diaphragm that's in this one. Okay, we robbed the vacuum pod off that parts carburetor, so this thing is pretty much ready to go besides putting the base plate back on. But in the process of cleaning the base plate up, we discovered that it has a crack at the corner here. It's not hasn't gone all the way through. I don't know if you can see that little crack right there or not, but it hasn't made it to the bottom side yet. This is a common thing in these carburetors. People tighten them down too much on the corners. So what I'll do is go through and put some epoxy on it. I could probably do this with the base plate on the carburetor, but it's a whole lot easier to get to it before we reinstall the base plate. So yeah, I'll put some epoxy on this thing and let it set up. And then we'll throw the gasket on it and she'll be ready to rock and roll. Okay, y'all, there she is. We got the base plate back on her. You can, I don't know if you can see that or not. Our little epoxy job repair right there. Like I said, that crack wasn't all the way through the back side of the base plate, so that should help hold it together there. But that's a basic rebuild of your Holley carburetor. If y'all got any questions, just drop them in the comments. I'll be glad to help you out.